4:41. Now let's talk about etiquette just briefly. Have you seen this in the news today? Bit of a showbiz spat. Is it ever okay to refuse a handshake? Hugh Grant and the Chancellor, Sajid Javid no less, are involved in a bit of a row. The actor says he refused to shake Mr. Javid's hand at a showbiz do because of the way he treated victims of press abuse when he was the Culture Secretary. The Chancellor has responded by saying it's very rude. Let's talk to the author and body language expert, Judi James. Hi, Judi.
Hello.
Welcome to the programme. Also with us, a political correspondent in America, actually supports Hugh Grant, Ksenija Pavlovic McAteer. Hello, Ksenija.
Hello, how are you?
How are you? So, Hugh, the tradition is that in this country, I think, etiquette-wise, is that whatever your disagreement, you can always have a handshake, a manly or a womanly handshake to smooth things over. You think Hugh Grant was right to refuse the Chancellor's hand?
Yes, it is the act of his free speech. It's the way he expressed himself. And what Hugh Grant did here, he broke up the established cultural convention of forced politeness and handshake politics. He actually, in my view, placed the meaning on the handshake, and I think that's wonderful because handshake is a learned behavior. Anyone can do it, even a sociopath. And he refused to do something for the sake of doing it. He didn't want to do it for the optics, so that should be honored.
Right. The social awkwardness, I think, would prevent me from refusing to shake somebody's hand. But Judi, you have to like somebody whose hand you shake.
No, not necessarily. I mean, it's not really a symbol of liking. I mean, I don't know if you remember Theresa May shook Putin's hand just before she left 10 Downing Street, and you could tell from every fibre of the rest of her body language that there was no liking going on there, but she still performed the ritual because it's a bit like boxers touching gloves before they pummel one another in the ring. It's a ritual that is a greeting ritual, but you can shake hands with an enemy or a friend, it really doesn't matter. It's just something that you've got every right to refuse to do it. And, if Hugh Grant wanted to do that, was entirely up to him. And I have to say there have been refused handshakes in the past that I think the whole UK nation has endorsed. And I don't know if you remember the Wayne Bridge and John Terry one on the football pitch, where I think that most people were thinking, no, that was entirely appropriate to not shake hands with John Terry at that point. But
yes.
It doesn't mean to say in normal life that you like somebody, and business people that are rivals will shake hands. It's literally just a form of greeting that makes you look extremely rude particularly if the other person's got their hand out, it makes you look very rude to refuse it.
Yeah, Ksenija, it would be. What would it do to our social construct? It'd be chaos if at a business meeting or even in a romantic situation, you just because you didn't like the look of someone, you didn't shake their hand.
Well, Hugh Grant is not a politician, and he was not there to make a business deal. He was there in a private situation. And, as for a politician, it's a conventional wisdom that politicians play handshakes for the cameras. And they wrongly assume that everyone should shake their hand, that everyone should submit to their authority and shake hands despite how they internally feel about that person. Let's remind everyone that Hugh Grant was not within the political function. So he didn't break any protocol necessarily, and this forced rule to shake hands with everyone is also an open invitation to fake our appearances. I don't like you, but
I've been doing that for years. The alternative is actually to walk around a room and shake hands with 3 people, ignore the next 2, shake hands with 4. It's awkward.
I don't think it's awkward. I think it's fine that you say, look, I don't do handshakes.
Oh.
How many times, you are in the situation where you don't feel you want to shake hands.
Okay, I see that. But Judi, we British have made a career out of being two-faced. What do we do now?
Well, stick with it, really, because unfortunately, when you don't shake hands with somebody, and as you say, if you went round a room, and I'm sure on the red carpet like Hugh Grant was, or if you go out to most networking functions, if you're going to go around shaking hands with a lot of the people and then miss out certain people, it's almost too theatrical a gesture. It's almost too rude. And unfortunately, the other problem that people have got, you risk making yourself look petty, or the message getting misconstrued. And it did get misconstrued with Hugh Grant and Javid, because Sajid Javid said he thought it was Hugh Grant being an elitist looking down on him because he was working class. So it can backfire quite badly as well, unless you refuse somebody's hand and then yell out to the entire room, this is because of so-and-so. So it's a non-verbal gesture of refusal that can definitely it could have backfired even worse than that, I think, on this occasion.
Best just have a pint in each hand, and then you can't shake hands with anyone. That's probably the diplomatic solution. Look, Ksenija and Judi, thank you for talking through that. I'm sure we'd all shake hands if we were in the same room. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.